Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 9 of English 90. This week, you're going to be reading chapters 11 through 15 and whose names are unknown. And we'll be talking about that in our live session. Hopefully, in our live session, we will also have a visit from a librarian. I'm working on that. In order to get more information about how to do the last bit of your research for your research paper. You're going to be reading chapter 13 in the Bedford Researcher. That's pages 204 through 225. And you'll complete a research journal based on that, which will be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Then you'll turn in your outline, which is your major assignment for this week, which is due Thursday at 11:59 p.m. So this week, like I said, we will be moving on from the thesis to the outline. The thesis is part of your outline. And let's talk about how you develop an outline. So now that you have your thesis statement, it's time to think about how you're going to go about proving your thesis in your paper. You do this by developing an argument. And how do you develop an argument? You choose reasons to support your main point. These will be subtopics of your paper that will help readers accept your argument. You need to consider what your readers know about your issue, how they are likely to respond to your overall argument, and the counter arguments they might propose. So you will be doing a research journal after reading chapter 13, which talks about how to develop your argument. I'd like you to write down at least 5 reasons you could use to support your thesis. I want you to identify relevant evidence that you've already found or that you newly found, and list that evidence under each reason. Then ask yourself, does each reason have at least 2 different sources supporting it? Do these sources vary by reason? Do you use a variety of types of evidence? Are you using periodicals or journals or books or documentaries? And is all your evidence from academic sources? These are the ones that have to be academic sources, you guys. How do you plan on finding more evidence to support your reasons? And then choose the best 3 reasons based on the evidence you have found to support them. Now, the reasons are statements like things that you can say that are going to help you prove your thesis. Okay, there's a lot of information in here in this chapter, but how can I organize my argument is what you're going to be working on after you think about this. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is figure out what reasons you're going to be talking about, and then you're going to talk about how you organize your paper. And we're just thinking about the order right now. I'll go into more detail about how to organize your document when you're actually writing it, which begins next week. This is just your outline to get you ready, okay? But you need to have identified the best 3 reasons you can use to support what you are arguing in your thesis. Then, with that, you're going to create your outline assignment. Your outline assignment needs to be in MLA format. You need to create an outline that includes the following information. There should be a thesis statement at the top, and then you need to show 3 subtopics written as complete sentences, preferably like the topic sentences you might be using in your paper starting next week. And the citations for 3 pieces of evidence from academic sources that you could use under each of these different topics. If you were writing something and you wanted to support what you were saying using experts to support, the claims that you're making. Does that make sense? There is a sample outline here. You will be formatting it just like this. You'll have reason number 1 in a complete sentence. Your thesis will be at the top. You can call it outline or you can give it a fun name. I always like it when you guys get creative. There's also 2 different possible, there's also 2 sample outlines found on page 224 as well, if you'd like to take a look at that. So this week we're going to be reading Whose Names Are Unknown, chapters 11 through 15. Things are getting dire in this part. I know they were dire before, but now they're really getting dire. And we are going to talk about it, and there will be a discussion posted after class. please do try to make our class on Monday so that we can, it's a great place to ask questions if you have them. But also, I hope to bring a librarian in to help you with specific questions. All right, guys, this is a short week. There is no online research unit. I want you to focus on, if you have extra time, I want you to do research at the library. That means find the sources you are going to need so that you are ready next week to begin writing an 8 to 10 page paper. We will be writing it in parts, just to remind you to go back to our schedule. Next week, we're going to be writing body paragraphs, and then we'll go back to writing introductions. Then we'll go back to writing conclusions, and we'll go to the conclusion and we'll work on the flow of the document. Then in week 14, we have conferences about your first draft. It's actually week 14 and 15. And then in 15, you'll be doing a self-review, 16, a peer review. And then week 17, you'll be turning in your final draft. All right, guys, we're well on our way to writing a research paper. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me and I will respond. All right, have a great weekend.